"Sit down and stop embarrassing us," my sister snapped across the table. Before I could even open my mouth, her hand struck my face. Hard. In front of everyone. Guests froze. Glasses stopped clinking. The music kept playing, but nobody was listening to it anymore. My parents looked away like they hadn't seen a thing. What none of them realized was that every single second of it had just been recorded. My name is Emily Carter, and I'm 34 years old. I plan weddings for a living. Ballrooms, florals, seating charts, vendor timelines. I've coordinated over 200 events, and I know how every corner of a venue operates, including the cameras. I grew up in a house where my younger sister, Olivia, was the star of every room she walked into, praised at dinners, celebrated at holidays, forgiven for everything. I was the quiet one, the dependable one, the one who kept the peace so nobody else had to. I spent years making myself smaller so Olivia could feel bigger. I wasn't glamorous or loud, but I had something none of them ever expected me to use. If you've ever felt invisible inside your own family, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment below and tell me if you've ever been the one who was always expected to just take it. Click hype before we go further, because this story is one you'll want other people to see. The wedding was my cousin Dana's, a rented ballroom downtown, chandeliers overhead, the kind of event I could have planned in my sleep. I wore a simple navy dress and told myself I was just there to celebrate. No drama, no history, just one evening of peace. The smell of white roses and warm candle wax filled the room, and for a moment I actually believed the night would be fine. It wasn't. Olivia started at the dinner table, right in front of 6 relatives and 2 of Dana's friends from college. "Careful," she said loudly, swirling her wine glass. "Emily might try to take over the whole reception. She's always desperate for attention." A few people laughed nervously. My father looked down at his plate. My mother straightened her napkin. Nobody said a word to Olivia. I kept my voice low and steady. "Can you please stop?" That was all I said, just that. She stood up anyway, and she slapped me across the face so hard the couple at the next table turned around. The room went quiet. The music kept going, but everything else stopped. I pressed my palm to my cheek and sat completely still. My mother leaned toward me and whispered, "Don't make this worse." And just like that, the blame shifted. It always shifted. My parents pulled me aside near the coat check 10 minutes later. My mother's voice was tight and hushed. "You know how sensitive she is," she said. "Just apologize and let it go." My father crossed his arms and told me if I couldn't keep the peace, I wouldn't be welcome at family events going forward. I stood there and listened. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just nodded slowly because I had already done something they didn't know about. While Olivia was back on the dance floor laughing with cousins and posting a message in the family group chat suggesting I had started the argument, I had quietly stepped aside and spoken to the venue manager. Her name was Mrs. Dalton. I had worked alongside her on 3 separate wedding contracts over the past 2 years. She was composed, professional, and she did not tolerate unsafe behavior at her venue. I told her what happened. She didn't look surprised. She looked at the monitors behind the check-in desk and said, "I saw it, Emily. The cameras caught everything." That was the moment I stopped feeling powerless. Because here's what my family never understood about my job. I don't just arrange centerpieces and confirm catering orders. I understand incident protocols. I know that ballrooms like this one run continuous high-definition recording across every public space. I know that physical altercations trigger mandatory documentation under venue policy. I knew all of that before I ever walked through those doors that evening. Mrs. Dalton told me the footage had already been saved.
She told me it showed everything, not just the slap, but Olivia provoking me before it. Every mocking comment, every moment I stayed calm, every second she chose to escalate. The truth was already sitting on a hard drive, waiting. Olivia danced. My parents circulated through the room, relaxed and satisfied. They believed, the way they always believed, that I would absorb it and move on. That was always how it worked in our family. Olivia acted and Emily endured. But this time, Mrs. Dalton had a zero violence policy to enforce, and she intended to enforce it. During a pause between the toasts and the cake cutting, Mrs. Dalton walked to the front of the room and took the microphone from the DJ stand. The room settled. Guests assumed it was a venue announcement about parking or timings. She spoke clearly and without any drama in her voice. We need to address a physical incident that occurred earlier this evening, as captured on our security system. A staff member connected a laptop to the projector screen that had been showing wedding photos all night. The footage began to play. No sound, just the image. Olivia leaning forward at the table, mouth moving in a way that made people around her shift uncomfortably. Me sitting straight, not moving, not reacting. Then Olivia standing, then the slap, clear as anything, flat and deliberate in front of the entire table. The room did not make a single sound. Olivia laughed first, the way she always did when she wanted to reframe a moment. Oh, come on, it was nothing. But nobody laughed with her. My father started to speak and said Emily had provoked it. Mrs. Dalton rewound the footage 12 seconds. She played it again. There was no provocation. The footage showed exactly what happened and nothing more. Our venue has a zero violence policy, Mrs. Dalton said, her voice unchanged. We cannot overlook a recorded assault on our premises. Olivia was asked to leave, not suggested, asked in front of everyone, with 2 staff members walking to the table. She looked at my parents. She looked at our relatives. Nobody moved to help her. She picked up her clutch and walked out of the ballroom while the entire wedding reception watched.
I stood quietly near the back of the room. I did not smile. I did not speak. I just watched the truth do what I never could have done on my own. I left early that night with my head up. Dana sent me a private message before midnight, apologizing for what had happened at her wedding. My parents called 3 times. I didn't answer. I sat in my car in the parking structure and thought about how many years I had stayed quiet to protect people who never once protected me. This time, I didn't fight back. I didn't argue or plead or explain myself to anyone. I just let the facts exist. And the facts were enough. Staying quiet doesn't mean staying weak. Sometimes it means choosing the right moment for the truth to be heard. Have you ever been humiliated in front of others while your own family stood there and said nothing? Drop your story in the comments. I want to hear it. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, and click hype to help this reach someone who needs it today.